after a slew of manufacturers in China, including BYD, Leapmotor, and others, reduced the prices of their electric cars over the last few months, Tesla has done the same thing. In fact, it's reduced prices of the Model 3 by nearly 6% within the last 24 hours. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. 2024, it's going to be an amazing year. Model 3 Highland. You can now buy it in North America. Price is the same as the old version. I did make a few videos telling people, wait, don't buy the old version. I even said, here's a video comparison comparing the old version versus the new version. It's worth paying an extra $5,000 US dollars for the new version. So wait for the new version. Obviously, a lot of people didn't, which is fair enough. A lot of people just need a car, and I understand that. But the fact that the new version is the same price as the discounted old version seems like an amazing deal. $38,000 US dollars. In China, Tesla significantly increased the price of the new version, very different to their strategy in the United States. The reason for this was they anticipated a lot of people saying, I want the new model, don't care if it's more expensive. It was quite a bit more expensive, but I'm willing to pay more for the new model. Well, now, of course, as you would all know, by now, sales of EVs and sales of cars in general collapse every single year. January and February, it almost looks like everyone goes to sleep in China. Now, of course, they don't all go to sleep. People work hard, but a lot of people do have holidays in that time of year. Car sales are historically minuscule in China in the first quarter of the year versus the fourth quarter of any year. December sales versus January sales are usually, January is around 30% of December sales, which is the reason I said hold off on the BYD versus Tesla thing. Hold off on saying BYD is now making more EVs than Tesla. That will happen. It will definitely happen. It hasn't happened yet though. To try to use these sales numbers from the fourth quarter of 2023 to say that BYD has surpassed Tesla is clearly false. People must know this. It's like, for instance, people coming out and saying, oh, in the first quarter of 2024, Tesla sold more vehicles overall than BYD. Clearly, Tesla now is smashing BYD. That would be a fake headline. You'd have a lot of people in the comments saying, hang on a minute, that's not true. Tesla have a good season, basically because you're comparing a bad first quarter for BYD versus a good first quarter for Tesla because Tesla's not a seasonal company like BYD is. So that wouldn't be fair. So that's why I think those news headlines where we've seen them on all the electric car websites, all the media is saying that now BYD have overtaken Tesla. Yes, it will happen this year. It didn't happen in 2023 though. That's a false comment, I believe, because we're going to see what happens with BYD sales in the first quarter of this year. I can tell you they're not going to be very big. The reason, because 90% of BYD sales are in China. Doesn't mean BYD are doing badly. It just means that's the situation they have to deal with. And Tesla have to deal with BYD, which are very, very tough to deal with. They've released a new electric car to compete with the Model Y. It starts at $27,000 US dollars. Insane. BYD have reduced the prices of all their cars on several occasions over the past 3 months in order just to kill their competitors. And BYD have admitted to the fact they simply want to crush the competition, which they are most certainly doing. As a result, Tesla's saying, hold my beer. They're reducing prices as well. Tesla lowered the price of its entire Model 3 and Model Y lineup in China, which is obviously going to set the stage for some serious competition. You're probably going to see companies like the Wall Street Journal, which I believe is trash publication. You're going to see them come out and say all kinds of crazy things. Tesla's struggling in China. Actually, Tesla had a really good year in China last year. Their sales rose by approximately 30%. If you look at Germany, Tesla sales in Germany went down by 9%. So if the Wall Street Journal came out and said that, that'd be a fact. I don't think they'd like to report facts, but if they came out and said Tesla sales in Germany went down 9%, that's a problem. That is a problem. They would be right. But to come out and say Tesla's struggling in China, well, statistically, they would be clearly wrong. Tesla are, I think, doing what they were always going to do. Once the Model 3 Highland had been out for a few months, they'd reduce the prices. However, I think the price is still pretty reasonable. I think Tesla's still making a profit, a pretty good profit in China. Tesla's factory in Shanghai does manufacture EVs at low prices in terms of Tesla's cost to produce them. The reason why, it makes around or nearly 1 million EVs at that factory per year. What does that mean? Lower prices. When you mass manufacture a product to that degree, biggest EV factory in the world in terms of production numbers, then the prices will come down. The Model 3 comes in 2 versions in China. It doesn't have a performance version yet. Unfortunately, it hasn't been revealed yet. Entry-level rear-wheel drive, so the standard range vehicle. And of course, they have the long-range all-wheel drive version like we have everywhere else around the world. Previous price, $36,000, $500. Now the Tesla Model 3 standard range begins its price, cheapest version, $34,600 US in China. So about $4,000 cheaper than it is in the United States. The Model Y now starts at $36,400 in China. Now the Model Y, the Chinese version, does have some upgrades. It is a bit better than the American-made version. It does have some nicer features in terms of interior lighting, dashboard improvements, new wheels, a little bit more range. It's got, also the perception that it's a new model. Anyway, $34,600 Model 3, $36,400 Model Y. Approximately $4,000 more gets you the all-wheel drive long-range version Model 3, and same goes for the Tesla Model Y long range. Now, so far this year, Tesla stock has actually fallen by 12%, and it fell by 3.5% on news of Tesla cutting prices in China. Clearly, people think Tesla are going to struggle in 2024, and I think they're probably right. Now, I'm a big fan of Tesla, and I think Tesla's going to roar back with a real vengeance in 2025. I think this year it's going to be tough. Ramping up production for the Cybertruck, trying to build a new factory in Mexico for production of the Model 2, but also manufacturing the Model 2 in Texas as well. They plan on doing that in their Gigafactory in Texas to begin with. All the ramp up is going to take a while. It's going to be hard work for Tesla because Tesla are not doing what other companies do. Other companies kind of go, well, slap it together, she'll be right. We need to get this EV out in the market. And then they make a loss on those EVs that they sell. Everyone's making a loss except BYD and Tesla. Tesla are saying, no, we have to make this in a revolutionary new way. We have to make a profit on a car we can sell for $25,000. That is not easy. You've got to do things that are really new, really different. So ramp up will be slow. The whole production process for the new Model 2 will be slow. But that said, Tesla may in fact have the best-selling car worldwide like they did last year. The Model Y was the best-selling car in the world in 2023. Very likely it will be again in 2024. And the reason I say that, I think interest will be significantly increased when the new version, the Juniper version of the Model Y, comes to market. About then, we should see Tesla stock start to grow. But it will probably grow more on news of what is happening in Tesla's robotics division. The reason I say that is because Tesla is really, I think they're losing interest in cars. Sounds crazy, right? Now, they're not losing interest, but I think Elon Musk is moving Tesla's focus away from vehicle production into robotics production, into neural networks, into the software, the digital side of things, into focusing on how they can disrupt the global labor market. Now, the global labor market is worth $30 trillion. It's worth literally 30 times more than the automotive market. If Tesla can bring out robots to replace humans in its own factories, it can crush everyone. Even BYD can't compete with that unless they buy Tesla's robots from them to use them in their own factories. If you're paying a robot $0, you're paying for the energy to run that robot, which is minuscule. Then how do you compete with that? Think about it. Car companies, what is their biggest cost? It is labor, it is staff. So if Tesla have robots that can build their rockets for SpaceX, they can build their cars, their battery packs, their mega packs, all that kind of stuff, then production costs would go down by at least 30%. This would give them an impossible lead that no one else could compete with. And I think that is why Tesla are pivoting away from focusing on production today into their robotics division, which actually makes a lot of sense. Thanks for watching.